What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to Unique. So today I'm actually going to be switching things up a little bit. I've been playing the game for a little while now, and I have quickly come to realize that I am collecting uniques at an exponentially faster rate ever since I started playing the game. So now I'm having this issue where I have literally 4 mule characters that are completely full up with uniques that I'm supposed to be doing videos on. Well, I do want to continue doing the Unique series, which is why I've decided that I would try this compromise and see how this works. Instead of doing a video for every single unique, unless they are, in my opinion at least, especially powerful, what I'm going to try is I'm going to take a group of them, ones that I don't think I can necessarily get a whole video out of, put them together so that in that way I can actually put out, basically it'll kind of be like a compilation video, and then that way we can start getting through these uniques a little bit faster, because I don't think I want to upload 3,000 videos to my channel for the eventual time when I finally finish getting all these uniques, because by then it'll probably be 6 or 7 years from now, and I'll probably be wanting to move on to other things at that point. So with that being said, let's just go ahead and get onto it. So the first one I'm going to talk about today, this one is known as Deathlust. It's a two-handed sword. These are all two-handed swords. I'm probably going to make a thumbnail that says something like two-handed sword compilation or something like that, so you guys can understand exactly what's going on. So again, we're going to start with Deathlust, and we're going to go down these affixes right now. It's going to be 20% increased attack speed, which is great because you only have to be level 12 to even equip this one. This one gives you 149% enhanced damage. That's what this one rolled with, leaving this to be 19 to 42 damage at level 12. That is amazing. You're going to be destroying things if you have that much damage at level 12. 15% chance of crushing blow. Crushing blow is great. I've already explained that in another video. If you need me to explain it again, say something in the comments, I'll go ahead and explain that to you. But I'm pretty sure if you're this deep into this video, you understand how items work in Diablo 2, because you're a nerd like me and you just love talking about Diablo 2. Austin's going to give you 25% Deadly Strike. Deadly Strike is another thing I've already talked about once before in one of my previous videos. Deadly Strike is definitely going to help you. It's definitely going to get you to the point where you need to be. Now, here's an interesting part about this, though. Sorry to cut off my sentence right there, but I wanted to talk about this specifically. +1 the skeleton mastery. So this sword is something that you're going to want to use as a necromancer, which is very interesting to me because most of the time you're going to want to be carrying a bone wand or something like that. So I almost feel like this is some kind of like hybrid melee summoner necro, which I have seen versions of that before, and I do find them rather interesting. It's not a class I've ever specifically played, or I should say a build I've ever specifically played, and I've never really thought about trying that, but maybe I will now that I have something like this. And again, this is something that I really like about Diablo Reimagined, is that they actually found a way to give us these items that can help us theory craft these new builds that we haven't really fleshed out before, or make old builds that were very underpowered and underwhelming a little more enjoyable for people who actually want to play the game that way. That's pretty much all I have for this one. And as you can see, if I had just talked about this one item, then this video would be like 2 minutes and 30 seconds long, but let's continue. So we got over here, this one's called Blink Dog. Now, this one is going to give you 10% chance to cast level 1 teleport when struck, which is actually pretty cool. And it does two-handed damage of 50 to 102 at only level 25, which again is great. Now, the only downside I really see to this item right here that we're looking at is that there really isn't many affixes that it gives you. Now, it does give you +1 to masteries, and as a barbarian, that's going to be amazing for you. Now, it's only +1 though, and we have seen other items that roll with much higher, especially different rune words that roll with much higher than just +1 to masteries. So I don't know if I'd really want to be using this as a barbarian, because there's probably other options that I would actually use that might be better. But I will say that adds 37 to 72 damage is very tempting, considering at level 25 you're usually not hitting that hard, and considering this is a two-handed weapon, you're going to be hitting really hard, and you can actually use this probably against some act bosses to help you out, because you cold resist to +43%, which, you know, again, helps you out. I guess they want us to be using this maybe in Act 5, maybe somewhere in the Frozen River doing our Anya quest. Now, the one downside I do see to this is, I have said this before, I usually prefer to not have to use two-handed weapons, only because when you have two different items, when you have an item on an offhand, I should say, and when you have an item as your main sword or just main item that you're using, you can actually get more affixes that way way, and in my opinion is more beneficial to you to play that way as opposed to just having a two-handed anything. Now currently on my lightning source I am using a two-handed staff. I'm using the rune word Obsession, which is an amazing rune word. And the only reason I'm using that is because it's just such an overpowered rune word that it compensates for me having to only use one item where I could be using two. For example, I think it has like 60 to all resistances on Obsession, and that is just overpowered, and I can have pretty much all of my resist. I put that thing on. Sorry to jump around, guys. I put that thing on, and I instantly was able to clear out a good, say, over half of my inventory of charms and stuff that I had just collected to keep my resistances up. I was able to just drop all of those, and now I had like a whole new section to play with simply because I had that one rune word, and that one rune word pretty much all I'm going to need until I'm done playing as a sorceress. So we're going to move on to the Mangler. This is again another two-handed sword. Gives you 206 enhanced damage. Gives you +1 to enhanced maximum damage. Now I'm sorry, that's +1% to enhanced maximum damage, which again is also great. 38% chance of crushing blow. Crushing blow is always welcome when you're playing as a barbarian, so I'm definitely going to use this one. Now it is a required level of 49, meaning that you're probably going to have something better. Again, see, this is kind of why I wanted to start doing these videos this way in terms of some of these lower level items, because you can only go over these affixes so many times before you start to realize, yeah, this is pretty great, but would I actually use this thing? Or is it just something I'm gonna look at and go, maybe I'll just throw that on the ground? And unfortunately, with these ones, I think some of them can be used in specific circumstances, right? But those circumstances would be pretty much only at the beginning of the game. And what I mean by that is, usually when you play Diablo 2, you have a few characters, right? Like you play the game through the first time, and the more that you play, and the more items that you're able to put into your shared stash, the better and better your characters get. The reason being is you start to collect items that you can use on other characters, and then eventually you get to points where you're like, hey, I have all these certain items right here. I can make a great Poison Nova Necromancer with this bone wand, you know, with this helm, with this pair of bramble mitts, and I might as well go and do that. So this one, I can see somebody using this maybe for a little while, but if this is like the second or third or even fourth or fifth playthrough for you, you're probably not going to use this because you're probably going to have things that are way better that you can use other than this. Although it is pretty good, especially with the Deadly Strike on there. It's got 25% Deadly Strike, and it's also got that 100% chance of open wounds. And open wounds is something that is very valuable to you. So I really think that this one out of the four here might be the best one. And I probably could have made a video all on its own for this one, but again, there's just so many that I have that I'm just trying to get through a lot of these. So there we go. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about that one. Repairs durability, which is again amazing because you don't really have to worry about going back to Charcy to get it repaired. You know, instead you're just going to be using this and smashing stuff in the face, which is what we all love doing. All right, on to the next one. This one's called Hellmessenger. So although I do love the name, I'm going to be 100%. I'm not really all that impressed with this one. All it's going to give you is 25% increased attack speed, which I'm not saying that that is bad. Obviously, that means you're going to be hitting things much faster than you normally would be with a two-handed weapon. After that, we got 147% enhanced damage. Now, this is a required level of 24. It hits for 22 to 69. Let's go back to this one right here. So this one right here hits for 19 to 42. Pretty close to this, but you can actually put this one on at level 12, whereas this one, you have to wait until level 24, which is why I'm not sure if I would actually want to use this or not, because by the time I go from this to this, I'm level 24, and there's probably other things that I could be using that might be better. For example, this one right here is level 25. Remember Blink Dog? We were talking about that just a little while ago. The one where if you get hit, you have a 10% chance to just teleport away. This one hits for 50 to 102. So, I mean, one level later, you're going to be doing literally double damage. Pretty much double damage, right? So I don't know if I'd really ever use this one. I think I might just wait a level and then go to this one. After that, we get 100% damage to demons. This is going to add 10 to 25% fire damage, which, again, is nice. If you don't have any fire pierce, it's not really going to do much, but it is definitely going to help you out. So you got fire resist of 12%. 12% fire resistance. Now this can roll higher, but at least for me, because I'm very unlucky, that really isn't all that much. So that's really not going to help me out very much at all, especially by the time I'm level 24. Probably have charms, Maybe it'll be the difference between me getting from 70 to 75 on my resistance for fire, or maybe I'll have already capped that, because I usually try to make sure I have all of that stuff capped by the time I even get into Act 3. After that, you get +7 fire absorb, which again is also pretty good, but at the same time, like I said, level 24 or wait a level to use this one. I'm probably gonna wait, and I'm probably gonna use this one, which again is kind of why I'm including it in this video. So there you go. So I just told you guys about 4 new uniques that we have not seen yet. We got Deathlust, Blink Dog, the Mangler, and Hellmessenger. And all in all, these are relatively good. I just don't think that they are the best in the world. Now, I'm not trying to sit here and just crap all over them. Like I said earlier, there are certain instances when I can see myself using these, but there's also a good many instances where I can see that I would maybe, again, for this, like, just wait, right? Just wait one level and then go to this one. So I guess it really all depends. Now, if you're playing the game normally and you're not out there hunting all these uniques the way I am, then maybe you won't find these as fast as I did. But I know at least when I started playing, I wanted to know, like, what are all of these new uniques? And obviously I could have just gone over to the website and just read, you know, the whole list of things. But who wants to do that? You know, I would rather go out here and like hunt for these things, so that way I can at least feel kind of accomplished, right, when I actually find these things. But there we go. That's all for today. Hopefully you enjoy this format a little bit better, because I do have a lot of these that I'm going to need to talk about and get through. If you do not enjoy this format, if you would like me to continue doing singular videos, even for ones that maybe are only going to be like a 2-minute long video, I'm totally down to do that. Let me know in the comments if you prefer it like this, so you don't have to click off the video and look for something else to watch after about 2 minutes. Then again, just let me know in the comments. So thank you guys. I appreciate every single person who was watching this video, even people who might think that my takes are ass. I still appreciate you. Even if you go into the comments and you want to say that, like, I suck, I still appreciate you, because everything like that actually helps me out. Whether you view it, whether you like it, whether you dislike it, whether you comment, whether you talk crap to me, whether you think I'm the worst YouTuber in the world or you think I'm the best, it all actually helps me. So I very much appreciate every single person who's listening to these words right now. Thank you for your time. For real. Thank you so much. And y'all have a good one. Late.